around the constituency. It's raining. I guess you could count the blessings for at least some cool. But it's of course held us back just a little bit. So just happy to do our part as we continuously do. It's been a rough year for many people, and even though we have been constantly in step with hampers, with school drives, with laptops, with devices, with just lending a listening ear, lending a hand to families door to door, this is the best part about it. This is an extension of what I think is the best part of life, the ability to engage with the constituency. I want to remind you that we've been door to door to thousands of homes on the vaccination issue, literally. So we have been door to door. We have taken caravans in, we've taken doctors in, we've taken vaccinations in. So we've had a lot of interaction, and what we're doing right now is continuing to spread that message at the same time that we also deal with our Christmas treats. So this is something that we're just continuing to push on. We're really asking people to pay attention to the numbers of infections, to the fact that our hospitals are still filled with unvaccinated people. 95% to 97% of our people in ICU and HDU are unvaccinated. So while we're doing this, we're also doing a little double time on the vaccination point to try and address the issues. So thanks for being with us today.
What about mandatory vaccination? Do you think this is what is required at this point, seeing that people are continuing to party and infections are continuing to go up?
Well, the Prime Minister has lead on the issues as to where we go. My job as Attorney General is to have all options always in gear. For now, in the constituency, I can tell you that I have personally knocked on almost every door that we can. We've taken, to give you an example, in one of our constituencies, we have thousands of people living. We got caravans in, we went door to door, we arranged for doctors to answer questions for people who were hesitant. We got a whopping 7 people in a constituency area with thousands. We got 7 people willing to take the vaccine. That's where we took the doctors to the people. We took door to door and surveyed the people. We brought the vaccines to the people. We volunteered to pick up people and take them to other vaccination sites, and we got 7 people. So Trinidad and Tobago, I'm sure that there are many tales that many MPs are engaged in, but I can tell you what I have personally done. And I want to thank San Fernando West and its many volunteers, our doctors, our nurses. The San Fernando Chamber has been outstanding. The members of Parliament are assisted, of course, by local government representatives, and our local government representatives have been outstanding in the door-to-door. But really and truly, our conversation is a serious one because the numbers are significant, and the need for lives to continue in operation is equally important.
I just want to ask you one more question. With regard to tour by the CDC that they want to open the Tobago beaches, right? I wanted to ask you, what does the PHA Act give them the authorization to do that, or the public health regulations supersede any power that they may have under the Act?
I think you already know the answer to that, right? So let's not engage in political fantasy. The job of the central government, the job of the Attorney General is to uphold the law. We're not reinventing what the law looks like. We're accustomed to bi-weekly press conferences. We're accustomed to revisions in the law. Of course, we must support the Tobago House of Assembly. That will be my solid intention to continue to provide my role and function as Attorney General. But I think you're asking answers that you know already.
Mr. Al-Rawi, one question. Will you be able to say when the government will be tabling the motion in Parliament to update the new process for the selection of commissioner of police?
That's been done already.
Yes. But when will it be brought forward?
I think you're confusing how this thing works. You want to refine your question?
Okay. Go on, I'll come back.
Sorry, is it that you want to...
Yeah, well, I know it was brought to Parliament, but I'm not sure if it was debated and stuff already. I guess that is what I'd like to know.
It doesn't work that way. That's not how the law is structured.
Okay.
If you're asking about when a commissioner of police is done, the following is the methodology. There's a law, there's the Constitution, there is an order for selection criterion. There's an order for selection process. All of those things are in place. What has to happen is that the Police Service Commission has to do its job. It has the sole autonomy to do that. So as and when they have completed their job, they will inform the country. When they inform the country, they send their recommendations in accordance with the Constitution and the orders to the President, then the President tables it in the House. So it isn't for the government to do anything. You have to abide by the process. So just to lend your hand on that.
There was a
regarding the House of Assembly with what's in view and the PSA. You see Mr. Weatherhead is talking about he's not collecting any salary and all the people in your cabinet is in a similar situation where they have a job as a government minister receiving things and now you are calling for him to not take that position as PSC president.
Sorry, I have not heard what Mr. Weatherhead has said. What I can tell you is what I have done. As Attorney General of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, I wrote to Mr. Faris Al-Rawi, who is the Chief Secretary. I cautioned Mr. Augustine that Mr. Duke cannot hold two posts under law. That is clear in our laws of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm awaiting Mr. Augustine's response. He is the man with responsibility. So I will abide by his response and then I will take such steps as are necessary in the circumstances to ensure that the law is upheld.
I know he said he was given a 3-month deadline by Mr. Augustine. Do you think that is, enough time? Because he was given 3 months to, clarify everything.
I'll await his response. I'll just stick to the fact that we must respect process and the law is quite clear. I will of course take the steps that are advisable in the circumstances. But the law is the law. This is there is no member of the cabinet. But first of all, the cabinet, the THA, all of us are guided by the laws under which we operate. The THA Act is very clear on its position, in my respectful view. I will of course allow my colleague, Mr. Augustine, in the sense that he's the head of the THA, to form his views and opinions, and I must abide by a process, so let me await his response. Suffice it to say, a response to the media is not a response to the Attorney General's letter to him. I await his response as I must. He's the Chief Secretary, and I will take the steps as are necessary in the circumstances. Yeah?
Is there anything else you think MPs can do to encourage people to get vaccinated? In Fernando, there was a big house party with hundreds of people last night. Is there anything you want to tell your fellow MPs that they should be doing?
So you've been on this floor of this constituency with me for a long while. You've seen me at Sapa begging people. You've seen me at Gulf City begging people. You've seen me door to door begging people. At the MP's office begging people. As the Attorney General begging people. We have to get to the point where all of us have to come. You've seen the Archbishop begging people. You've seen Reverend Joy Abdul. We have all of the religious leaders in San Fernando. We actually have a WhatsApp group. We talk to each other. We're all trying to find ways to encourage people. This is a serious issue. The media is doing its part, etc. So this is something which is under consideration. Obviously, the Chief Medical Officer and the team will be working with the Honorable Prime Minister, and we'll take those steps one step at a time. But if MPs can do more, we just need to continue doing what we're doing. One by one, we fill that basket, and that's what we're doing.
You talk about mandatory, well, not mandatory, you're saying people should vaccinate. When will the booster for Supper will start with the Pfizer?
So the Minister has given that schedule already. That was published today, so that's already in circulation. Yeah?
Some of the social media activists sometimes post stuff online that may be propaganda or inaccurate towards the vaccines. Is there any way that you could legislate to stop them from doing that in terms of splitting the public from getting the vaccine, confusing the public?
That's a global conversation that's going on. I mean, part of that is the subject of the cybercrime legislation. As you know, the Media Association has serious objections to the cybercrime legislation. We've only been talking about it for 10 years, small 10 years. But at the end of the day, you can't pass law unless you have the numbers to pass it. That would be a 3/5 majority, right? And the opposition is dead set against it. Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar is a voice that makes no cry for vaccines. She is a voice that makes no cry for support. In fact, I cannot for the life of me fathom how the leader of the opposition could be so violently silent on issues like this. Have you ever heard her speak about it? Encouraging people to vaccinate? Can you even, I honestly challenge you to say that you can hear genuine advocacy coming from the leader of the opposition of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So Radhika, you had asked me a little while ago what can politicians do more? Call upon UNC politicians to join the struggle. Imagine we have safe zones in law. Safe zones are places where you can go to a bar, you can go to a restaurant, you can go to a theater. You can not have your mask on while you're eating, everybody's vaccinated. Do you know one place that is not a safe zone? The Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Can you imagine that? So if in the Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago we don't have a safe zone because Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar will not say if she's vaccinated or not, how can she possibly be setting an example for Trinidad and Tobago? You all don't find that ridiculous?
But AG, you were one of the persons talking about for Carnival 2022.
No, I didn't.
Is that still going to be one of your agenda?
Let me correct you. In the 2 hours that I spoke on a Twitter platform, and I spoke about Trinidad and Tobago in being encouraged to accept vaccines so that the next carnival that we have, whenever it would be, where we had adequate vaccine numbers, that we could have a carnival that we would all celebrate. So nothing like that is possible unless this country is past the vaccination issues and our numbers are down. I have to tell you, I traveled on business recently to the United Kingdom. I was in awe at their society in operation because they're over 85% vaccinated. I was literally in awe at people living their lives like normal. So let's start by making the Parliament a safe zone. Come on, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar.
I'm glad you went and see it. So I went with stuff and I see.
I'm shocked, you know?
Yeah, boy.
Mr. Faris, I came in. I was parking my car, moving my vehicle for you, we could park, you know. So I missed the beginning, you know. Could you just give me
I was just answering questions about the constituency.
I don't know what I missed at the beginning.
I was talking about what we're doing here today.
Yeah, well, I will need that.
Sure, but let's roll quick.
I went away, boy. That was the best thing I ever do, my boy.
Okay, so this
Tell everybody. All right.
CTV, you missed it. You ready?
Yes, sir.
December. Today we have our area managers and representatives on the platform because we're doing a distribution so that we can do it in a socially distant and safe manner. Every year it's a joy to see the look on our kids' faces. This year, unfortunately, we can't do it in the numbers. We'd usually have our big bouncy castles, and we'd have food, and we'd have treats. So I'd like to express my thanks to the many hard-working people, some of whom you see behind me, who every year make this a reality. And whilst we're doing this, we're taking the opportunity to send a second message. We're reminding our constituency to please continue to get vaccinated. It's been an extremely difficult uphill battle on that particular platform, but one by one we're getting there. The numbers are not as encouraging as they ought to be, so we're continuing to go door to door, house to house in this point. So we're combining our efforts on this particular platform because we'd really like people to be safe for their lives and not just for the Christmas season. So thanks for joining us here at San Fernando West, and we wish you a very Merry Christmas as we bring a little bit of joy to the beautiful kids that live and thrive in our constituency. Thank you so much.
How many children are you keeping?
1,000.
1,000?
Yeah. 1,000 kids.
Are the children going to be here to collect?
No, we take it to their doors. So we have 1,000 kids. Remember that we have been delivering thousands of hampers, thousands of book supplies, thousands of opportunities, trying to connect. It's been a rough year.
So you'll be going to the doors first as well?
I move around with my area managers as I do all day long. It's been late, so what we're doing is we're picking up and moving. We have to move this in a safe way, and that's part of the plan.
Why is asking? I want to know where's your Santa outfit?
My Santa outfit, the red of the constituency goes well in Santa colors.
So all the best to you and the team. You know, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, and thanks for being here today.
You're welcome. Sir.
Take care. Birth a little while ago, and she has beautiful kids of her own. These are some of our hardworking area managers, and it is them that descend and do all of the joy together. So thanks for being with us.
Before we say anything wrong, I'm okay.
I hope you're not.
No, next thing you know,
That was for you. I thought you were taking a picture and a video.